Have you ever wondered why, despite your sincerest prayers, some things seem to remain unchanging? In these moments, it's essential to revisit the story of Peter. Peter, a simple fisherman, was able to walk on water, achieving the unimaginable. His secret, unwavering faith in Jesus. But here's the catch. Peter didn't just step out onto the water without a second thought. No, he had his eyes fixed on Jesus. And as long as his gaze was on Jesus, he was able to do the unthinkable. He walked on water, but the moment he shifted his focus to the storm around him, he began to sink. Doesn't this resemble our lives at times? We're making progress, moving forward, but then the storms of life hit, the disappointments, the delays, the difficulties. And just like Peter, we take our eyes off Jesus and focus on the waves crashing around us, and we begin to sink. But let's delve a little deeper into this. When Peter called out to Jesus, he immediately reached out and saved him. This tells us that even when we falter, Jesus is there. He's ready to catch us when we fall. So, in those moments when your prayers seem to echo back at you in silence, remember Peter's story. That silence you perceive isn't neglect, quite the contrary. It's a space for growth. It's a period where your faith is tested and strengthened. It's a time where you're being prepared for the journey ahead. Think about it this way. A sculptor doesn't create a masterpiece overnight. It takes time, patience, and a lot of chiseling. Each strike of the chisel, while it may seem harsh, is carefully planned and executed to reveal the beauty within the marble. In the same way, Jesus is at work in your life. Each challenge, each disappointment, each delay, it's all part of the process. It's all part of the chiseling. So, in those moments of silence, remember this. Just as a sculptor meticulously chisels away at marble to reveal a masterpiece, I too am at work in you, shaping you into the person you're meant to be. Consider Joseph, who found his dreams seemingly shattered in a pit and later in a prison. His life was a series of unfortunate events, each one appearing to push his dreams further from reach. But was it really so? Each setback Joseph faced was, in fact, a setup for his elevation. His dreams didn't dissolve in the pit or fade behind prison bars. They were merely being reshaped, refined, and readied for the grand reveal. He was sold into slavery, wrongfully accused, and forgotten in a prison. Yet, in each situation, God was at work, orchestrating events for Joseph's ultimate good. You see, Joseph's journey wasn't just about reaching a destination, it was about transformation. His trials, though harsh, were the chisel that God used to shape him into a man of wisdom, character, and faith. They taught him to trust in God's timing and to understand that God's ways, though often unfathomable, are always higher. Through the lens of faith, Joseph was able to see his trials not as obstacles, but as opportunities to grow, to learn, and to draw closer to God. And in time, Joseph rose to a position of great power, becoming a source of salvation for many during a time of famine. His story is a testament to the power of patience, faith, and the understanding that God's plans are always for our good. Joseph's life teaches us that our trials are not meant to break us, but to shape us, to mold us into who we are meant to be. So, in your own journey, when you find yourself in the pit or imprisoned by circumstances beyond your control, remember Joseph. Remember that God is at work in your life, even in the moments of hardship and waiting. In your journey, there will be moments of wilderness where provision seems scarce and the path uncertain. But remember, just as he was with Joseph, God is with you, shaping you, guiding you, and preparing you for the journey ahead. Recall the Israelites' journey through the desert, a journey fraught with challenges. Picture a vast, barren landscape stretching to the horizon, a place where survival seems impossible. Yet it was in this very wilderness that the Israelites learned to depend on divine provision for their daily needs. In the absence of earthly sustenance, they were sustained by heavenly manna, a daily reminder of a compassionate and caring God who was with them every step of the way. This provision wasn't merely about physical nourishment, it was a lesson in trust, a call to rely not on their understanding, but on the promise of a God who would never abandon them. Their journey, though filled with difficulties, was also a journey of discovery. They discovered the strength of their faith, the value of obedience, and the power of trust in the face of adversity. They learned to see beyond the harsh, barren landscape to the hand of God at work, molding them, shaping them, and preparing them for the promised land. This wilderness journey also taught them an important truth. God's presence is a constant. even in the most barren places. When the landscape of life seems desolate and the path uncertain, it is in these moments that God's presence is most profoundly felt. The wilderness isn't a place of punishment, it's a place of preparation. It's in the wilderness that we're stripped of our self-reliance and learn to depend wholly on God. It's in the wilderness that we're refined and strengthened, emerging with a faith that's more resilient and a spirit that's more tenacious. You might question the purpose of your struggles, wondering if I hear your cries. My child, every tear you shed is precious to me, every sigh heard, every pain felt. Your wilderness journey isn't a sign of my absence, but a testament to my presence. In the midst of your trials, I am there with you, guiding you, strengthening you, and loving you. Let's talk about faith. It's the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Like a seed planted in the ground, faith requires time to grow. It thrives not in the certainty of what is seen, but in the assurance of promises yet to be fulfilled. Consider the story of David and Goliath, a shepherd boy against a seasoned giant. But David didn't see the size of his adversary. Instead, he saw the magnitude of his faith in God, the one who commands the universe. His faith didn't promise an absence of danger, but it gave him the courage to face it. With each step, he defied the doubts and fears that sought to bind him. He faced Goliath not with fear, but with the confidence that victory was already his in God's name. So too in your life, faith enables you to face your giants, your fears, your challenges, your storms. It reminds you that you are not alone in your battles, that there's a God who fights for you, a God who turns the impossible into possible. But faith isn't just about believing for miracles, it's also about gratitude. It's about recognizing the blessings you already have, both big and small. It's about acknowledging the everyday miracles that often go unnoticed. The gift of life, the beauty of nature, the love of family, the kindness of strangers. Gratitude is a powerful force. It shifts your focus from what's missing to the abundance that's already been provided. It opens your heart to joy and your eyes to see God's hand at work in all things. So let's cultivate a heart of gratitude. Let's start each day counting our blessings, not our problems. Let's make a habit of saying thank you to God for His love, His grace, His mercy, His blessings. Remember, gratitude doesn't make things easy, but it makes them easier. It doesn't change your situation, but it changes your perspective. It doesn't promise a life without storms, but it provides peace within the storm. Gratitude shifts your focus from what's missing to the abundance I've already provided. Finally, my dear child, know this. You are loved with an everlasting love. This love isn't a fleeting sentiment, swayed by the winds of change. It isn't a conditional affection, reliant on your actions or achievements. No, this love is a constant, a surety you can lean on in times of uncertainty. You see, the love of Jesus is like the ocean, vast, deep, and unending. It's not confined by the shores of our understanding, nor is it diminished by the storms of life. It's a love that spans the breadth of existence, reaching out to embrace each one of us with a tenderness that defies comprehension. You may question your worth, doubt your purpose, or wrestle with feelings of inadequacy. But in the heart of Jesus, there is no room for such thoughts. He sees you not as the world sees, but through the lens of divine love. He sees your potential, your value, your intrinsic worth. And His love for you? It's unwavering, unchanging, and utterly unconditional. Imagine a sculptor painstakingly chipping away at a block of marble. To the untrained eye, the block may seem unremarkable, even flawed. But the sculptor sees what lies beneath, the masterpiece waiting to be revealed. That's how Jesus sees you. He sees the masterpiece within, and His love is the chisel, gently shaping you, molding you, bringing forth the beauty hidden within your soul. So when you feel alone, remember, you are enveloped in the unwavering love of Jesus. When you're uncertain, recall, His love is your guiding light, your North Star in the darkness. And when you doubt your worth, remind yourself, in His eyes you are priceless. For Jesus was born to save you, to guide you, to love you. He offers a love that's steadfast and true, a love that's as enduring as eternity itself. This is the heart of His message, the core of His mission. You are my creation, my child, my delight. His love for you is unwavering, and it's yours to receive. So open your heart, embrace His love, and let it transform you from within. For you are loved with an everlasting love. You are my creation, my child, my delight.